So tonight, I am doing the driver's side valve cover gasket. As you can see, a couple things missing already. Ignore the throttle body that's taken off. You don't really have to do that. It's for another reason. As you can see, I've already got the valve cover loose. Got everything pretty much unplugged. Coil's taken off. Don't worry about the boot if it stays in there. Put a little PB down there. Get some pliers. Yank that thing out. If it breaks, buy a new one. Don't buy a new coil. You don't need to spend all that money. Reason I'm making this video, I know there's a few of them out there already on this. Doesn't seem to be a lot of them specific to this year, though. A lot of the ones out there are 2003 and up. And the engine bay is a little different on those than this one. A lot of the ones you'll see, the power steering reservoir is bolted somewhere around here. So on mine, this bracket here goes here, here, that stud, and then the reservoir bolts on top like that. So that's going to come off. And then you can get to your cam sensor plug, which will help you get more of your harness out of your way. Just a couple tips there. Main reason I'm making this video, though, is because there's a lot of people out there saying that you got to take the brake booster and the master cylinder out in order to do this valve cover, because ain't a lot of room in there. Get that valve cover out. There's one guy that has a video that shows if you remove the cowl and the wipers and the motor and the linkage, gives you enough room. And he's right. And I'm going to show you. Well, as best I can. These plugs are under the master 8mm? No, 10mm bolt. Unscrew that. And this one will come out. There's another one under there. So get that out of your way. Sorry, I know the camera angle sucks, but I'm trying to do this one-handed. So if you can get your wiring mostly out of your way. The trick is you want to pick up on the valve cover, but you want to kind of roll it like this. I don't know if there's any place I can put this down to where you can really see what's going on. That's not good. That's pretty bad. Jesus. quality YouTube video brought to you by Amateur Hour. Alright, let's see if I can just get this thing out of here. Aha! Okay, see how far we've come already? Probably not. There. See how far we've come already? Gaskets stuck on the valve train, that's helpful. And voila! Off. There she be. Excuse me. So, poor video quality, I know, but it's not my forte. But the point I wanted everyone to see is that at least on a 99 Grand Marquis, with the driver's side valve cover, that's got your oil fill on this side. I know a couple of them in the later years have the oil fill on the passenger side valve cover. So the valve covers, and also the valve cover with the grooves in them, like this. If yours is like that one, it might also apply. But yeah, you do not have to do the brake booster and master cylinder. You just got to take the cowl and the wiper motor and linkage out. So, a couple of screws there, a couple of bolts there, another bolt there, another bolt there, another bolt there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts total, and then a bunch of screws to get the top part off. So you gotta get this top cowl off first, and that's these 3 screws. That little guy will undo the washer fluid spray nozzle. Same thing for the passenger side. There's a one of those little Christmas tree plastic, like plastic panel plugs there, and then there's 1, 2, 3 Phillips head screws, and then 1, 2 8mm bolts, and then again, obviously, there's another another screw right there for the washer fluid. So that's all the hardware for the passenger side. Coffee break. And then also, don't forget to unplug your washer fluid hose right here. It sits right down in there behind this module on the driver's side. And then your wiper arms is this style. You just pull this little tab out, then you yank the arms off, and then you do those panels, and then you get that out. Oh, forgot one more thing actually. Oh, you gotta unplug the motor, obviously. But when it's sitting in there, you'll be looking at it like this. You got to do this little bolt also, which is an 8mm, and that is this bracket here, which is attached to the firewall. Now there's a metal plate also too that goes right here. This bolt sticking up, that goes through your intake, goes in right there. You may have to take that out, and then that bolt hole goes right there. Mine wasn't there for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I took my throttle body and this off because my throttle cable was under it, and it's supposed to be on top, clipped in here, so unrelated. But there you have it. So at least on a 99 vintage body style Grand Marquis, I would assume Crown Vic is the same way. I've heard that on the Lincoln Town cars, you have to take the brake booster out. I don't know if that's true or not. No experience with it. So sorry, I don't have an answer for that. But there you have it. Should take you a couple hours on a Saturday or Sunday to get it done. Just make sure you clean up here and here. That's where your timing cover goes together. Put another dab RTV there, another dab RTV there. And my gasket pretty much fell out of the valve cover. Did the same thing on the passenger side too. So what I did on the passenger side is I just took a thin bit of RTV after cleaning it, put a little thin layer in there, and then I put the new gasket in and let it sit for a bit to dry. So the last thing you want to do is put this all together and then have a stream of oil pissing out the back of your valve cover because the gasket fell out and you didn't know it. So that's about it. And since I didn't do a video on the passenger side, get this junk out of the way. Since I didn't do a Since I didn't do a video on the passenger side, I'll just tell you real quick that there is a bolt down there that's a pain in the ass to get to, but it can be done with my hams, sausage fingers. If I can do it, you can do it. And the only real tip I would have for this side really is you want to take your fuel lines off. That's muy importante. Take as much of the wiring off as you can. This evap line, get that out your way. Everything else should be pretty obvious. It's gonna fight you a bit because there's a baffle inside the valve cover, like towards the back of it. So as you're trying to pull the valve cover off on the other side, get this crap out of the way. As you're trying to pull the valve cover off on the other side, that baffle is getting stuck right here on this valve train, these bolt heads. So you gotta be patient. You gotta give it a little wiggle, and then give it a lot of wiggle, and then stop for a beer, and then wiggle some more, but you can get it in and out in a night. And that, my friends, should be about it. Good speed, God luck. And I'll see you next time one of my shit boxes breaks.